have you seen God using your talents as you have sought to live a life centered on Christ? The Apostle Paul challenged the believers of his day to learn what every believer today would do well to remember. The key to making progress in the realm of Christian freedom is to keep walking in the Spirit. Paul is very much aware of the Galatians' need for a power that the law could not give. He realized from personal experience that there are some things the law cannot do. Rules and regulations can command, but they cannot empower one to do what is commanded. Rules and regulations serve as a guide or a roadmap, but they cannot motivate and enable one to follow the directions and guidance given, which brings us to our key verse for today, which reads, "Since we are living by the Spirit, let us follow the Spirit's leading in every part of our lives." Galatians chapter 5, verse 25. While yielding to the flesh is dangerous, a Spirit-inspired life emancipates the believer from the law's requirements. This statement does not mean that laws are to be disobeyed and overlooked, a notion likewise unsupported in the rest of the New Testament. However, it does contend that the law has lost its parental role in the life of the Christ follower. Paul connects life in the Spirit with the theological concept of adoption, suggesting all who are led by the Spirit are sons of God. Paul describes vices that are anchored to self-centeredness and destroy life within community. 16 behaviors in total are named, each of them grouped according to the semantic domains they emerge from. A second subset of vices related to social structures emerges. The third subset relates to the structural fabric of the community. The Apostle Paul uses this space to name the individual vices that are at work in his community to heighten the community's social injustices, which is something no church wants to see. The final subset of vices emerges from individual greed and covetousness. Contrasting the vices, Paul now shares the virtues that promote holiness and wholeness within the community of faith. The 9 virtues listed here can be explained in triads in the order that they appear. Love, joy, and peace all function as virtues that are displayed within the individual. They grow internally like roots below the surface, deeply rooted in the life of the believer. These are inner-oriented virtues that foster a type of wholeness by showing concrete expression in the face of adversity. The second triad, long-suffering, gentleness, and goodness, represent the fruit of an outward orientation, or how we interact with others. These virtues allow the Christian to hold up under cruel pressure, to act with calm respect toward others, and generally display the wholesomeness acquired by the first triad of virtues. This final triad in Galatians 5, verse 22 and 23, faith, meekness, and temperance, represents the fruit of self-mastery. Each one demonstrates the loyal responsibility of the Christian to act in accordance with the Spirit of God. The possessor of these virtues cannot be indicted. These 9 virtues will not impugn the law. In other words, we can't be at fault for having joy, though many seek to rob us of joy. We can't be arrested for having peace, though sometimes being peaceable may cost us. No laws exist against forbearance, kindness, being gentle, faithful, or austere. This is precisely the point Paul makes in the final clause. He's saying if you have these fruit, there are no laws against living them out. And so here's our lesson. Paul assures his audience that following the Spirit will look a lot like obeying the law of Moses. The freedom that Christ offers from the heavy weight of the law does not mean Christians will go around breaking those Jewish laws. Christ is the same God who gave those rules on Mount Sinai. So those being guided by the indwelling Spirit will end up adhering to the moral guidelines of Judaism. However, the Christian will know that it is not their own efforts or animal sacrifices that make them follow these rules, but the power of the Spirit within them.